Hi everybody and welcome to my Unruly Housewife channel. Today I'm going to tell you about 10 things that you can use toothpicks for when you are polymer claying. And if you're on a budget or you're a beginner or maybe you're a kid still at school, this is the video for you because, well, it's economical, it's fun, and it's 10 things. So let's get started, shall we? Thing number one, we will need a toothpick. You can use a toothpick to make holes in beads, and I recognise that these are not great beads. I'm not much of a bead maker, but your toothpick is a nice shape to leave a nice little dent in your bead. You can press down on it as vertically as possible, and I would sort of put my head over it if I was doing this in real life. And you can see it leaves a nice little dent, and then you turn over to the other side where hopefully there's a mark. There it is, and you try and go back and reconnect with the hole that you made. Did that happen? Yes, it did. There you go. By going from both sides, you've got the dent on the bead both sides, and it makes a really nice neat hole in what is otherwise not a great bead on my part. And you could do this on this bead too, but you know what, I'm not going to push my luck. So that's thing number one. Thing number two is you can use toothpicks to bake your beads on. And here are some more, like, not very good beads that I've made. And I bake them in the oven by sticking some toothpicks into a piece of scrap clay and baking them according to the manufacturer's instructions. Some people worry that you won't be able to get the beads off the toothpick. And if I show you, I haven't done this yet, so... yeah, they're reasonably firmly fixed on, but that's not a bad thing, but you can actually get them off. Just, if you have any trouble, just give it a press like this, and that will take it off. Bit worried there. So yeah, that's something you can do. You can bake them on there. The other thing you can do whilst they're on here is you can varnish them, and because they're held nicely in place, you can put your varnish on quite easily without having to handle them. And this isn't varnish, it's water, but that's showbiz. And that's thing number three. So thing number one, making the holes. Thing number two, baking them. Thing number three, varnishing them. Let's get these out of the way, shall we? Thing number four is making a pendant back. Now, I don't have a pendant that needs a back at the moment, so we're just going to use this one here, which is just a practice piece that I was using. And I know it's already got a hole. We're going to pretend that we need a back down there, okay? So if you're going to do this, you need to have some bake and bond, and I would probably just put that where I want my back to be. Not too much of it. I mean, you can do this in any order you like, but that's what I'm going to do today because this clay's not very sticky. And then I will put my toothpick in between and push that on over the top. Let's just see. I'm going to get this straight. I want it quite near to the top. And then use that bacon bond because this is baked and this is raw. Right, you'd want to take more time about it than me probably, but that's kind of where I want it. And I can use a couple of other toothpicks to just push it down. Now I'm going to do these simultaneously because otherwise it shifts here. And there we go. That's kind of done it. Now, I'd had a bit of trouble, didn't I, getting that bead off of the toothpick. So obviously I don't want to leave this in because this has got bacon bond or liquid clay involved in the mix as well. So because it's so wide and because it's got other things in the mix, I'm going to take my toothpick out before baking. I'm just going to look along that hole to make sure that there is a gap, and there it is. So yeah, an easy pendant back. And that is thing number 4. Thing number 5, I'm going to use a toothpick as a tiny roller. If you take a look at this little cat, you'll see that he needs a tiny roller to flatten out the fur between his ears there. And look, it's such a delicate, small little way to do that. I really like using toothpick as a tiny roller. I'll probably use them for that as much as anything else. Look, meow. We're going to come back to this cat later. So that's number 5, tiny roller. Thing number 6 is dragging the clay to make marbling or feathering designs. Now, you can do a big design using, say, a rubber tool or something, but if you want to make a small pendant like this, it's really useful to have a toothpick to do the job with. And I've been messing around here on this one. Let's see which way next. Yeah, I haven't done it exactly properly, but yeah, you pull along like this in each direction and it starts to make a marbling effect on your clay, and then you would put it vertically through the pasta machine. But we'll link to that in the description down below because it warrants a tutorial all of its own. I'm just doing this to show you how useful toothpicks are, and that was thing number 6. On to thing number 7. Thing number 7 is moving resin, and I'm going to show you that with this, which is a thing that I've got left over from a previous tutorial. I'm not going to put all my UV resin on it because the sun is blazing in the window and it's going to go solid almost immediately. But the fact that this is wood and it's quite sort of textured means that it grabs the resin really nicely and helps to drag it to the edge. So quick, before the sun gets to it. You would obviously keep this flat. The toothpick is really good at coaxing the resin to where you want it to be, and I've kind of dragged it quite violently there, but you can coax it to the edges before it sets up. So worst example ever of dragging resin probably, but a good example of how useful your toothpick is. And yeah, the sun is already getting to that. But yep, toothpicks are great for dragging resin around on your creations. And I can now throw that away, which is even better. Number 8, you can use your toothpicks as an armature. Remember this cat? Well, if I want to put that cat's head onto a rather makeshift looking body, then I can do so using a toothpick to strengthen that connection. And I've already made holes in the head and the body, and now my little snapped off toothpick makes a perfect little armature to sit that cat's head in place. Oops, what's he got on his head? Oh, it's gone through his head, gosh. Okay, don't do that. Don't put it through his head. That's awful. There he goes. Sorry, pretty cat. You can put that on more carefully than that. Oh. And look, I can use my tiny roller to flatten out that little hole. Oh dear. Why me? Let's face it, I'm not going to bake this cat anyway, am I? That will make a nice head, and make sure that you don't push it through his skull. If these two are raw and they're joined together quite nicely, you probably won't need to do anything else. If you are joining, say, a raw head to a cook's body, it would be a good idea to remove them. If you think they need it, remove them from the toothpick and add some of what we mentioned before, the bake and bond. Notice I've lost the lid for this and I'm using a toothpick to bung it up. Bake and bond or liquid clay on the ends of the toothpick so that it fixes more firmly into place and gets stuck. And there's our cat. Thing number 9, making holes in buttons. This is a really good one, and I first saw this on the website The Blue Bottle Tree, which is run by Ginger Davis Allman. And basically when you make buttons, you want them to have holes on, and you want those holes to be a uniform space apart. And if you fix together some toothpicks, and this is a good one for small buttons, but you can use baked clay or something like that in between if you want to make bigger buttons, you get that lovely uniform effect. And I'll try and do it here, and I can't see very clearly from where I'm sitting, but putting those in, you get that nice uniform spacing. And of course that's a bit off centre, and you could even go in the other direction and make 4 holes. So yeah, making holes for buttons is another great use for the humble toothpick when you're polymer claying. And the very last thing is for using your toothpicks is texture. And I was watching a lovely channel called Polymer Clay by Deb, and on there Deb suggests that you might be able to use a snapped toothpick to make fur pattern on cats. Now that was any animal that's got fur really. Now that was Deb's idea, which I've appropriated for this video, so I'm going to put a link to Deb's channel down below as well, and please go and check her out. She's amazing. She's got a cat called Felix. She's often got him on her lap, and it would be great if you would go over there and follow her now that I've nicked her snapped toothpick idea. So there they are, 10 things you can do with a toothpick or some toothpicks when you're polymer claying. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll forgive me for the rather rushed nature of this video, but let's face it, it's not exactly rocket science. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe. Leave any comments, questions down below, and thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. I love you all. Bye bye.